What's up guys, and welcome to part 3 of my beginner's guide to concert photography. So today we're talking about post-processing, so we're talking about everything you do from the moment you take the photo all the way through sending that photo out to the client. So we're going to be talking about how to store it in your computer, where to store it in your computer, Lightroom, sending it out, all of it. Hopefully it helps. I'm excited for it. Let's get right into it. Alright, so when I shoot a show, I come home and the night of the show, the first thing I do is put all of those photos that I took onto my computer. Sometimes I'll shoot a show, let's say Friday night, and then Saturday night, if I go out to shoot again. There have been times where I showed up Saturday night, I went to format my card, and at the last minute realized that what I was formatting was all the stuff from the night before that I hadn't processed yet. Fortunately, I've never lost a client's work because I just deleted it like that, but I have heard a lot of other people that has happened to. So yeah, by putting on my computer, I can just make sure they're safe, no problem, nothing can happen to them. The only issue that can happen when you put it on your computer is if you put it on what's called a mechanical hard drive. Now, solid state drives are becoming way more popular, and that is the only thing I'll put my photos on. The reason for that is because I had, I think 2 terabyte mechanical drive. It crashed and I lost 2 years of work, just gone. I went to Best Buy to replace it. It was gonna be a couple $1,000s, hopefully to maybe get some of the data back. The drive just failed. Solid state drives will not fail. So for me, that is the only place I'm putting my work from now on, and I hope that no one else has to lose 2 years worth of work. Please just take my word for it, use a solid state drive, move on with your life. So now everything's on the computer. What I'll then go through and do is import all the photos into Lightroom. Lightroom is what I edit with, it's what I think most people edit with, and it's what I would 100% recommend that you edit with as well. So I go down here, I click on import, and you can see I keep everything in different folders so that everything is easy to find going back. Sometimes a client will hit you up from months ago and say, hey, can I have this? And the quicker you can find that, the quicker you know where it is, the easier your life is. Obviously, worst case scenario is you don't have that file anymore and you have to tell them that you deleted their work. So hopefully you're organized just like this. I have mine in split logos, merch, miscellaneous photos. In my photos, I have concerts, other photos, and then an old portfolio that I had saved. And in my concerts, everything's broken up by city. Completely, I recommend that. It's been awesome for me. We're in Lightroom. So these are a bunch of photos I took at a show the other day. As you can see up here are some shows I took with my friend before the show. Over here, it looks like the show is starting. So this is Chelsea Grin at the Palladium. They were incredible. Chelsea Grin is like my favorite live band ever. Tom Barber is so good live. That's not really relevant, but I love them. Good shit, Chelsea Grin. I don't start off by editing any of the photos. What I like to do is go through and look at all of the photos I took so I know where the best 10 to 15 photos are. I personally don't like sending out more than 20 photos to a band because I feel like after 20, it's just diminishing return. Like, they're not gonna post 20 photos. They might post 2, they might post 4. They're not gonna post 10, they're definitely not gonna post 20, and everything after that is just extra. I'll go through and I'll look at every single photo. So I'll go up here, I'll click on my Develop tab, and then I'm just going through with the arrow keys and just looking at every single picture that I took. I'm gonna go through them all. When I find one I like, I'll rate it, and so I'll push either 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 on my keyboard. I like to set it up by band, so the first band of the night is a 1, second band of the night is a 2, third band 3, so on and so forth. If you're doing more than 5 bands, you can find some other way to do it, but that's how I like to do it. So you go through, I'm tabbing over, go through, eventually there's a photo I like. I must have edited one of these. I also think it's worth noting how many of these that I'm going through before I find a photo that I like. We take a lot of photos and that's totally okay. I will take maybe 1,000 photos a night. Maybe I'll share 50 of them. But for me, that just works best so that when I'm in the pit, I'm just focused on shooting, I'm just creating as much as I can. And then when I come back, I can deal with it later. I'm not worried about creating more work, but I am really worried about not having enough. There's nothing worse than coming back and just not having the photos you want. So I'd much rather just work extra hard in the pit and then be able to figure it out later. So we go through, so like this is a photo, right here I rated a 4. So I would go through, keep rating all of my photos a 4. This one is already edited. So the reason I rate my photos is because it allows me to go back and organize them so all I'm seeing are the good photos that I wanted to maybe edit. And then it just ignores all the garbage ones, it ignores all the kind of duplicates that are pretty similar but not quite. So I've gone through and I've picked out exactly which photos I think are the coolest ones that might be editable. Maybe I'll star 30 photos and send out 15 of them. Like, it's not precise, but it just helps me condense all the 400 photos I have of the band. So then these are 4 stars. I can go click 4 stars. It'll filter them out, and now down here, you can see the only things I have are rated pictures. So I went through and I just edited each of these, and this just allows me to focus on only what I'm editing, and I'm not sifting through trying to find cool pictures while I'm also trying to make the photos look cool. For me, just separating those two processes just really helps me stay organized, stay focused, and I think it just makes the art come out a lot better. So from here, now that we have all the photos rated, we have them all set up, I've gone through and edited them. For the Chelsea Grin, the photos go from here to here. And so now I can just go back to my library, I can click export, and I can send them to wherever I want them to. My Lightroom export settings are pretty basic. I like to send them to a specific folder. I like to rename them to a custom sequence. That just helps me stay organized. Sometimes I'll do the band name. These are just my initials, whatever works. Don't really use a watermark. I probably should because it makes it a little bit harder to steal the work. I just don't like how it looks, and I feel like if you're sharing my work, I'm either gonna see it because you're the band that I'm following you and someone will tag me in it, like it'll come to my attention, or if I don't see it, you're just a private person. If you're just a fan of the band, like there are fan pages that repost photos like this all the time. Whatever, if you tag me, awesome, I want you to tag me. If you don't tag me, I'm gonna message you and say, hey, can you please credit me for the photo? But I'm not gonna make a stink over it, I'm not gonna sue you. There's just no need for a watermark, in my opinion, for my work. But that's my opinion. Some people use them, and I think they're smart to use. I think it's probably a good idea to use them. I guess I'm just a little stubborn. So yeah, so export it to hard drive, we're good to go, click export, that would happen. So I'll always take the photos I get, upload them to Dropbox, and send a folder of Dropbox photos over to the management. You can try sending them to bands or a personal connection. For the most part, management is just your best bet. If you want to get them to bands, sometimes DMing them is kind of hard, but if you just post them, eventually if the photo gets retweeted enough, they will just see it. It will pop up in the band's feed. We did it! That was pretty simple, I guess. But I've changed a lot how I organize my Lightroom flow as I've gone on. I've changed the storage. Like I said, I lost so much work by making a simple mistake. So hopefully this shows you how I do it and helps you adjust your process or make your process just a little bit more efficient for how you work. With that, we're done with my guide to concept photography. This was fun. I enjoyed it. It's good for me to go through, I think, and just look at my process. I think I learned by putting into words exactly what I do. So hopefully it helped you guys as well. Hopefully you learned something. If you have any more questions about any part of this, please feel free to message me on whatever social media works best for you. All my links are in the description. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thanks for checking this out.